Good morning, dear students. How are you all? I hope everybody of you are fine, keeping well, staying home, staying safe. So, in the previous class, we have conducted many activities, many experiments regarding this lesson acids and bases. So, I hope everybody of you are conducting experiments in your home and performing activities so that you can learn more and more. If you are not available with your equipment and all, you can simply note down the experiments in your classwork and write their procedures, and later whenever we meet in school we can do that experiments. And in the previous class we have learned about hydrogen gas, Henry Cavendish, who discovered the hydrogen gas, and also about acid rains. And there is one more experiment here which explains the release of CO2 gas, gas. So it is there in page number 14. Take lemon juice in 2 test tubes and some pieces of marble to one test tube and eggshells to another. What do you observe? Bring a burning matchstick near the test tube. What happens? These are due to release of some gas. Pass the gas into lime water. What happens? Can you see the formation of precipitation? So here you have already checked what happens when the acids reacting with metals. Now here he is asking to perform acid reacting with a marble or acid reacting with a eggshell. Acid reacting with a marble or acid reacting with an eggshell. So whenever the acid reacting with eggshell, so we are using lemon juice as it is a natural acid. Lemon juice you have taken and eggshell. So in the previous experiment also, whenever you have added lemon juice and zinc or copper or whatever the metal you have taken, you have brought a burning matchstick near. So this has a pop-up sound and the matchstick begins to fire with a pop-up sound. This is due to release of hydrogen gas, we have already told. And now when you bring this matchstick where lemon juice added to eggshell, so this matchstick will be blowing off. This matchstick will be blowing off, means it turns off fire. So other than hydrogen, some other gas is released here. That gas is what you have to find, means you have to pass this gas which is released by using a glass tube. You have to connect a glass tube by adding a rubber cork, and you have to take another test tube and which contains lime water. From the beginning we are telling about lime water, which the preparation of lime water is also explained, and from this test tube you have to pass this gas into the lime water. Whenever this gas enters into lime water, the lime water turns milky. Milky means the milk in which color, children? White color. So this lime water is in transparent color. Whenever this gas passes through this lime water, it turns milky. So by this experiment, you can tell that the lime water turns milky and the gas released is CO2. The gas released is CO2. CO2 means, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. So in this lesson, you have learned about many activities and many experiments by using natural indicators. You are finding acids and bases, and also by using lab prepared indicators you found acids and bases and neutral substances, and also by adding the litmus papers to substances you also find acids, bases and neutral substances. You have all the following tables and you have completed all the tables, I think so. And this is the second experiment which explains about CO2 gas, and the first experiment describes the hydrogen gas. And you are learning about neutralization. Now you are going to learn about neutralization. What is neutralization? What is neutralization? So acids, bases and also neutral substances. You have learned about neutral substances, right children? Acids, bases and neutral substance. You have also filled up the table. Acids, bases and neutral substances. Whenever you taken the litmus papers, you turned, if the red turned to blue, it is base. If the blue remains blue, it is base. If the blue remains blue and red remains red, then it is neutral substance. We have already discussed in the previous class. That neutral substance is nothing but 50% acid and 50% base. So, it neither indicates acidic substance or basic substance. It is neither indicates acidic substance or basic substance. So 50% acid and 50% base. So how to perform this neutralization? How to perform this neutralization? In our textbook, an experiment is given to take up that hydrochloric acid, and you also told about caustic soda. So remember children, acid is HCl and it is caustic soda. Hydrochloric acid and base is caustic soda. By taking this both, we are performing this neutralization process. Whenever he is taking, take a clean test tube and using a clean dropper you have to take and put 10 drops of hydrochloric acid carefully in it, and also add 2 drops of phenolphthalein indicator solution. So here he is asking, take a test tube. In this you have to, it should be clean. And you have to take a dropper also. So by using this dropper, you have add 10 drops of HCl into this test tube. After adding into this test tube, you also have to add 2 drops of phenolphthalein. What is phenolphthalein, children? Yes, lab prepared indicator. This phenolphthalein, while reacting with acids, it remains colorless. The reaction is colorless. You should remember. The reaction is colorless. So while adding 10 drops of HCl, if 2 drops of phenolphthalein is added, is there any reaction here? No, it remains the same. What is the color of the resulting solution? It remains the same. Now add caustic soda solution whose concentration is equal to hydrochloric acid drop by drop to the test tube. Now in this only you have to add caustic soda solution by using another dropper. Caustic soda. You have already added phenolphthalein, children. You have added 10 drops of HCl. The solution is colorless. And now you are adding caustic soda, the same 10 drops. After each drop, shake the test tube well. Every time you are adding this caustic soda solution, you have to shake the test tube. Well so that these solutions will get mixed very well. Keep adding this caustic soda solution until it turns pink. Whenever the solution is basic, the phenolphthalein solution turns pink color. Whenever it is acid, it remains colorless. So you have to add this caustic soda solution until this test tube, the solution turns pink. Now what is this solution, children? It is basic solution. Previously it is acidic solution, and after adding caustic soda, you are turning this into basic solution. Next, now you can say what kind of solution is this. You also can use litmus paper. Now, after adding this caustic soda solution, it turns pink. After, he is asking what kind of solution is it. It is a basic solution. Now, on the basis of experiment, you can convert an acidic solution into basic solution and basic solution into acidic solution. Whenever these both remain same and there is no reaction in the litmus paper or lab prepared indicators, that substance is called to be as neutral solution. In that cases, you should get a precipitate. You should get a precipitate, and it remains in the end of the or the edge of the test tube. It remains at the edge of the test tube, and that is nothing but the salt. That is nothing but salt. Whenever a neutral solution is formed, during the process of neutralization, whenever the neutral solution is formed during the process of neutralization, a precipitate occurs at the end of the test tube, at the bottom of the test tube. That is nothing but salt. Here it is given. When acids and bases are mixed in equal concentrations, they give neutral solution. We learn about neutralization in our higher classes. So that is what the salts are formed in this neutralization process. Whenever the acidic and basic solutions are in equal concentrations and they were added equally to the test tubes, there will be no reactions in the lab prepared indicators or natural indicators or litmus papers, whatever it is. So that solution is neutral solution, and in that case, whenever you neutralize the solution, the process is called to be as neutralization, and this neutralization gives a precipitate which ends at the bottom of the test tube. That is nothing but salt. During the process of neutralization, the salts are formed. And the last topic is fertilizers. The last topic is fertilizers. Nowadays, we are very thorough about that. The farmers are using many kinds of fertilizers. Right, children? Fertilizers. The farmers are using fertilizers. So, we also learn about organic fertilizers. We also learn about organic fertilizers. So whenever these fertilizers are used, they test the soil. They test the soil. After testing the soil, they find out whether the soil is acidic or the soil is neutral or the soil is basic. Without this test, if you are using manures, if the soil is acidic, you are having high acidic concentration of fertilizer, then the acidic content will be more in the soil and the crops may damage. In the same way, if the basic content is high in the soil and you are using the organizer which is basic, then the basic nature will be high and the crops may damage. So if the neutral solutions, whatever the crops are grown in perfect conditions, you should test the soil. It is also given fertilizer, fertile land and organic manures. In recent years, the use of chemical fertilizers has increased. Through the use of chemical fertilizers, increase of production of crops, it changes the nature of the soil. Some fertilizers increase the acidity of the soil and some fertilizers increase the basicity of the soil. The use of natural organic manure is becoming more and more preferred these days. Nowadays, the people are very concentrated or concerned about the nature of the soil. They were testing the soil whether it is having acidic content or basicity nature, and based on that nature they were developing their crops, they were developing their agriculture. And salts we have already discussed, the salts will be found. So these fertilizers, nowadays we are using organic manures. Organic manures. These fertilizers may be acidic in nature or basic in nature based on soil acidity or based on soil basicity. Till now we have completed the acids bases. All the lesson is completed. Now I will give you the summarization of the lesson to go through once again. So from page number 9. From page number 9. If any of the topics were left, you just have a look, children. So here in table 1, we have discussed this table. So to find out the taste of the substances which we found around, and we have also answered these questions. And later on we went to the turmeric paper, and this experiment, many students have conducted the experiment by taking this lemon juice, turmeric paper and soap solution. They have understood the acidic and basic nature and also about the natural indicators. And I also told you to leave this oleander. Oleander means, I have already told you, this is ganneru. So this is somewhat a poisonous. So I have told you to leave this column and milk of magnesia. in this last column and to fill this table in your classwork notebook. So these are the natural indicators we can find out. See children, turmeric, petals of hibiscus, mango leaf and beetroot. These are the natural indicators you can find, and I asked you to fill this table here. If not, you can write it in the classwork also. That is not compulsory, but if you are willing to write, you can write down. And here is a definition children. The substances which indicate a change in the color when some substances are added to them are known as indicators. It is there in page number 10. Let us do after the dotted points. You should note some these important points into your classwork. As you are well experienced in your class 6 to write your running notes, I hope everybody of you are doing this. So these important points in the table should be noted in your classwork. And this table I have already told you, by using all these substances you have to test with litmus papers. Some students told me that they have found the litmus papers and some told they have not found the litmus papers. I already told you to, I will give you the description of litmus papers. I will share it to you in my description of this video, how to prepare litmus papers. Just follow it children. So I have checked it out, and that description will be given in my link description. It will be shared. Just check it out children. So this litmus paper experiment, you have to find acidic substances, basic substances and neutral substances. Acidic substances means it turns, acidic substances turns, see we have already learned, see litmus papers. What are the reactions? What are the reactions children? Red to red, blue to blue. What is this? Neutral. Next, red to blue, blue to blue. At last you are getting B, it is basic. Next, red to red, blue to red, it is acidic. Just note down in your classwork children the reactions of litmus papers. Red to red neutral, blue to blue neutral, red to blue basic, blue to blue basic, and red to red and blue to red is acidic. These are the reactions of litmus papers. Just note down in your classwork these reactions in a short way so that you will never forget. Next, coming to the lab prepared indicators. Next, coming to the lab prepared indicators. The first one is phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein, acid. What it becomes? Yeah, colorless. Acid means colorless. Next, base, pink. Base, pink. Next, methyl, orange. The second lab prepared indicator is methyl, orange. Acid means red. Base means golden yellow. Base means golden yellow. These are the reactions of lab prepared indicators reacting with acid and base. When neutral substances are given, they remains the same color. So preparation of lime water. You have also learnt about preparation of lime water. It is there in page number 11. Lime water, you have to take 5 grams of lime. Aakullo veskuntu chusara sunnam. That you will apply on beetle leaves, no? That you have to take and you have to mix it in the beaker, and you should leave it overnight, and that next day morning you have to filter it. So the transparent solution is nothing but lime water. The transparent solution is nothing but lime water. And after that, you have also learnt about this acid and substances: acetic acid, vinegar, citric acid, lemon, butyric acid, stale cheese. So some substances and some acids. some substances and some bases. I told you to by heart all this. And next, an experiment of methyl orange by cutting lemon, or not only methyl orange, you can also use beetroot, or you can use beetroot paste and whatever it is. So natural indicators also you can use, and you can obtain this experiment. The magicians do by cutting this knife with lemon, and they'll get blood. No, this is nothing but the reaction of indicators with acid and bases. Next, you have learnt about the experiment and release of hydrogen gas with a pop-up sound, and also you have learnt about acid rains and release of CO2 gas and neutralization process, organic manures and salts. Through this you have completed your lesson 2. So I'll give you the big part, children. So just get over to that and note down. First you do it on your own. After doing it on your own, if you are not getting, then only you refer the answers of mine which I am giving. So I also given the questions. I will give the questions. You have to read those questions also. For the next class, we will move on to the lesson 3. Thank you, children.